Hi everybody, this is Mr. Matt from the Pike branch of the Montgomery City County Public Library System, and once again it is Storybook time. Our theme this summer is Imagine Your Story, and I can't imagine my story without the wonderful friends I have who've become a family. Now we all have lots of friends in our lifetime. Like you have friends now who are classmates when you were in school, or neighbors in your neighborhood around your house. But as you get older, you'll find people who really understand you, who appreciate your talents, who might share your sense of humor, as well as your concerns. And those people become your best friends ever. And some of us grown-ups call that finding your people. Now, why are we discussing finding your people today? Because that is the problem for the character in our story. He has friends, but they don't quite understand him or appreciate him just for who he is. And he needs to find his people. Or in this case, find his bugs. Because the character today is Bud, who is a stink bug. And he does have friends who are stink bugs, but they don't quite understand him because he is, as you might guess from the title, unstinky. He does not smell bad. So we're going to see if Bud can find his friends in Unstinky by Adam Rash. It is published by Levine Books, which is an imprint of Scholastic Press. This is Unstinky. Bud was a happy stink bug most of the time, but not when there was a stinking contest, because Bud always had to compete with the biggest stinkers ever. P.U. Bottoms, Lord Stinkington, and the Fumigator. And every time Bud tried to stink, something went wrong. P.U. Bottoms smelled like a smokestack. Lord Stinkington smelled like dead fish. The Fumigator smelled like dog dew. And Bud would smell like flowers. He always made good smells. The Fumigator would smell like an outhouse. P.U. Bottoms would smell like gym sock. Lord Stinkington would smell like sour milk. And Bud would smell like a pine tree. The Fumigator would smell like bug spray. Lord Stinkington would smell like rotten eggs. P.U. Bottoms would smell like armpit. And Bud would smell like a new car. Another big stinking failure. But Bud had an idea. He rubbed onions on his armpits. He stomped around in manure and was sprayed by a skunk. Once Bud was sure he totally reeked, he announced his own stinking contest. But as all the stink bugs lined up, what's happening? Big drop of water is about to fall onto who? Bud. A big dewdrop fell with a splash and washed all the stinky smell off of Bud. So, Lord Stinkington smelled like garbage truck. P.U. Bottom smelled like Limburger cheese. And the Fumigator smelled like burning wig. And Bud smelled like fresh baked bread. Fourth place again. Bud wandered off to mope and ran into Major Funk, a stink bug with a high rank. What's wrong, Bud? Major Funk yelled. I can't stink, sir. I don't know how, said Bud. Nonsense, yelled Major Funk. Every stink bug can stink. Just do what I do. Stomp your feet. Okay, everybody, stop your feet. Good job. Wave your arms. Okay, everybody wave your arms. Wave your arms. And stomp your feet. Wave your arms. Good job. Waggle your bottom. Okay, waggle your bottom. Stomp your feet. Wave your arms. Waggle your bottom. Stomp your feet. Wave your arms. Waggle your bottom. Stomp your feet. Wave your arms. Good job. So after all that, Major Funk smelled like gunpowder, and Bud smelled like candy cane. Major Funk sniffed the air. Well, keep working on it, Bud. You're sure to stink someday. Bud did keep working on it. All day he stomped and waved and waggled. Okay, everybody stomp and wave your arms and waggle your bottom. Stomp and wave your arms and waggle your bottom. Stomp and wave your arms and waggle your bottom. Good job. He jumped and slid and twirled. So he jumped and slid and twirled. He jumped and slid and twirled. Everybody do that at home. He jumped and slid and twirled. He flopped and reached and twitched. But every smell that came out of him was flowers, flowers, flowers. Roses, daisies, gardenias, tulips, poppies, daffodils, violets, and petunias. A confused bee arrived. Hi, I'm April. Sorry to interrupt your dancing. I thought I smelled flowers. That flower smell is me, said Bud. I'm trying to stink, but I'm no good at it. Maybe stinking just isn't your thing, said April, but you sure can dance. Will you come with me to a dance party at the hive? Do you think they'll even let me in? I'm a stink bug, said Bud. Don't be silly. They'll be happy to see you, said April. So April took him to the hive. The bees were not happy to see Bud, but the guards let him in because he was April's guest. And April was a V.I.B., a very important bee. Bud's entrance created a lot of buzz. Do you get it? Bud's entrance created buzz. What the sound does a bee make? Yep. Buzz. Who let a stink bug in here? Said one bee. He'll stink up the whole hive, said another. April, I'm going to leave. Nobody wants me here. We'll show them, Bud, on the dance floor. So Bud and April danced and danced and danced and danced. I think they had the time of their lives. And then all that dancing made Bud bloom. And all this great flower smell came up from Bud. Hummed all of the bees. Her Royal Majesty, the Queen Bee, arrived. Bud the stink bug, you have graced this hive with your dancing and aroma. You are always a welcome guest. Hooray, said all the bees. So, did Bud find his people? Find his bugs? Yes, he did. Not among his stinkbug friends, but it was his bee friends that really appreciated him for who he was and who he is. But Bud went back and told his friends about dancing. They had never heard of it. They gave it a shot, but it clearly wasn't their thing. Do you know anyone who dances like this? Your dads ever danced like this? Grabbing their leg and kind of jerking around? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I've seen some dancing like that. Although, the exercise improved their stinking quite a bit. Pee bottoms smelled like a volcano. Lord Stinkington smelled like a dinosaur poo. And the fumigator smelled like a cheese factory. They thanked Bud as he said goodbye. And Bud went back to do his thing. He went back to his people, the bees. So Bud found his people. He found the bees. And that's the end of Unstinky by Adam Rash, published by Levine Books, which is an imprint of Scholastic Press. I hope you like that story. It's so important to find your people and those friends who just really appreciate you just for who you are. I'm so glad that I have found those friends. I hope you find those friends one day too, even if you haven't already. Maybe you have, and if you have, that's awesome. Hang on to those friends. That wraps it up for Storybook Time today. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you for the next Storybook Time. Bye-bye.